Okay, The Soul on Fire is based on the true. It's a biopic based on the true story of John O'Leary. So here's the deal: when John O'Leary was a young child, he was in the park and he saw kids playing with fire, not only fire with gasoline. And being inspired by the fun that the kids were having, John decides to grab a can of gasoline, go home, and set something on fire. And in the process, he sets himself on fire and his house. And
What?
and this is a true story.
Okay.
So the uh, so the house is on fire. He runs upstairs. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. He collapses. His brother saves his life, takes him outside. Sister goes in. She grabs cups of water. She goes into a burning house 3 times, grabs a cup of water, throws it on his face 3 times. And then he's in the hospital where there's he's just there's just no chance. No one in the hospital except for one person thinks he's going to live. So the event happened on the night of the let me see of the well, let's just say the Baseball Hall of Fame was happening, and Jack Buck was being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and this story takes place in St. Louis. The word gets out throughout the ceremony that this kid is about to die and not doing well. So Jack Buck that night goes to the hospital and visits him and gives him words of encouragement that if you want to live, you can live. You can get beyond this. And so as the boy is kind of getting life back, he's burned all over his body except for his face, which was the reason why the sister was throwing water on it. She saved his face. So while during rehab, he has a nurse helping him get to normal. And then Jack Buck comes and visits him often and declares one day a year at Busch Stadium as Jack O'Leary Day. And then jump forward, Jack is now in college. He meets a girl. He's dealing with a lot of issues of his appearance. And that's kind of what this movie is taking this tragic moment and making something good about it. I should tell you, Jack O'Leary today he is a speaker. He's an motivational speaker who does the tour, very popular. And it's also a Christian faith-based film. You had a question?
Yeah, I saw the trailer for this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't see this. I will burst into tears. This is when I delivered newspapers as a kid.
Mhm.
I'm like 11, 12 years old. I delivered newspapers to a hospital, and there was a boy my age who was burned over like 90% of his body.
Yeah.
And he bought a newspaper for me every day. He could care less about the newspaper. He just wanted someone to talk to him.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I never forgot this kid. And it like no matter how rough life has ever gotten for me, I don't forget this kid that bought newspapers every day from me for like 20 cents, would buy a paper, and then we'd sit and talk, and he was covered. And I saw the trailer to this. It'd be really hard for me to watch this movie. Yeah, it looks inspiring. Wow. Okay, so thank you for seeing it, Alan.
Yeah, well, let me tell you about the movie.
I'm like, just because I had that connection, being a kid, I think about no matter what happens in my life, I have nothing to complain about because I remember I never forgot that kid. Yeah. So it's in the end, it's inspiring.
Yes.
Obviously. Yeah.
But I should just say, I think you just peed all over my review.
Why?
Because this movie, oh my God, this movie. So there are 2 redeeming elements of the movie. One is the father is played by John Corbett, and Jack Buck is played by William H. Macy. Aside from that, the acting in this movie is not that great. The story. There's a reason why I've seen a lot of faith-based films, and I'm not a big fan of faith-based films. And this movie checks all the boxes on what I dislike about faith-based movies. It's a little too, it's like, okay, here's this scene, and here's this scene, and here's this scene, and you're building the story. The acting outside of John Corbett and William H. Macy isn't the greatest. Look, I do appreciate the makeup effects here. The guy loses all his fingers, and so there's a lot of scenes where he's just fumbling around with his fists. Look, it is an inspiring movie, but that's not enough to really save the movie. So I can't recommend the movie. The reason it's out in theaters, this is from Sony, from their Affirm production. So that's their faith-based branch, and that's why it's out in movies. But oh my God, it's just, if you've watched as many faith-based movies as I have, you're just gonna relive reasons why you don't like faith-based movies.
So it's a mild recommend.
It's a bare recommend. Barely. I don't know that I can even recommend it. Look, the reason to see it is because of this guy's story, of John O'Leary's story. But man, the way to get there is, it gets painful at times.